Hello and welcome to live coverage of the Apex Gaming $5,000 Modern Open here in sunny Caldwell, Ohio. Well, it's rainy Caldwell, Ohio today, but I'm Todd Tandy Anderson, joined by Ross Merriam. Say hi, Ross.
Hi, Ross.
We have 116 players today ready to battle it out for Modern.
116, an
Yeah,
incredible number here, beating out yesterday's
yeah.
field. So, yeah, very happy to see so many people show out to play some Modern, and I can't wait to see all of the Underworld breaches.
Yeah. For those of you who are perhaps new to the Apex series, we have a really nice store here in Caldwell, Ohio. We can comfortably seat around 200 players, and with 116 in the building, it's getting, a little buzzy over there in the other room. When you open that door, you hear everybody talking and everything. It's a really
Yeah,
nice feeling.
because it's not just the main event going on.
Yeah.
There's the Command Zone, there's side events. We
Oh
had
yeah.
Value Vintage. There was 16 for that yesterday. I
Value
expect a similar
Vintage.
number today.
If you never heard of it, awesome format. It's like a $30 budget building a vintage deck, and so every deck is just full of the best, worst rares you've ever seen. Wraths that draw your opponent a card. It's pretty
Yeah,
fun.
they're firing off drafts over there. It's a lot of stuff going
Yeah,
on here at Apex Con.
yeah. But main event, we're about to start. We're going to be going into round number 1 of 7, and then we're going to be doing all 10 rounds today, including the top 8. We're going to start off with a mirror match from yesterday. Is that what we want to call it? What
It's
do you
a
call it?
it's a grudge match from
Grudge
yesterday.
match from yesterday.
Yeah. So yesterday, Deshaun Johnson and Grayson Nemitz were paired in round one.
Yep.
We showed them on camera. Grayson took that down playing Azorius Omniscience against Deshaun's Jeskai Convoke. Today, they are once again paired in round one, so we are once again showing them on camera. And it's going to be Deshaun Johnson on Boros Energy. Deshaun is very much a white creature deck guy.
Yes. Well,
So,
normally a hammer guy, but with
yeah,
hammer kind of falling out of favorability, he picked
He's
up Boros.
played Hammer. He's played Humans and Pioneer.
Yeah.
Like very much white creature deck guy. So yesterday, Jeskai Convoke. Today, Boros Energy. No surprise there
Mhm.
from us. And then Grayson Nemitz is apparently combo guy now.
Yeah. Yesterday was playing the Abuelo card that brings back Omniscience from
Yeah.
the graveyard and then lets you go Infinity. Today, not quite Infinity, but we are doing some very similar things, reanimating Gristlebrand from the graveyard and drawing our whole deck.
Yes, this is a Neobrand. So Neoform and Eldritch Evolution finding the namesake at Gristlebrand. And from there, it gets kind of complicated.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it when it happens, if it happens. But the players have been waiting in the feature match area, so without further ado, let's head on down for round number 1.
So not a lot of interaction here for Deshaun in game one. He needs a very fast draw. He wants that turn one Ragavan. He wants, an early Ocelot Pride or Guide of Souls. Maybe assemble a Johnny plus Goblin Bombardment for reach.
Well, there it is, Ross. There's your tone on Ragavan.
Yeah,
Best,
excellent,
best one
excellent
drop.
start.
Best one drop ever printed.
There's only one Gristlebrand in Grayson's deck, so if the Ragavan takes that one,
Oh,
he could be in
so
trouble.
we have a 1 in 52 chance of winning the game on this attack, something like that. Unless it's in his hand.
Yeah, a little bit less when Grayson gets to surveil and make sure that the
Meticulous Archive. Okay, you say Neobrand. Is this like Esper Neobrand splashing Shoal or something?
has some white cards, so
Okay,
it's Bant.
cool. Well, we reveal a Neo form. If you're Deshaun, you got to be like, uh-oh. Scary time.
Well, I think Grayson just wanted to leave a card on top that wasn't going to be threatening. So he plays the Surveillant knowing that the Ragavan is going to take the top card.
All right, well, an explosive start from Deshaun, though. This is the triple one-drop start, and he still has a treasure active. Maybe it's even a quadruple one-drop start. But we have Ocelot Pride, Guide of Souls, and Ragavan all joining the squad, and it's turn number 2, and here comes the kitty token as well. Boom.
Yeah, this is an excellent, excellent start for Deshaun. He should be able to win the game potentially in 2 turns.
Yeah, let's see if Grayson just kills him this turn, though. What do you think about that?
I seen Aladomri's call in Nemitz's hand, so that might set up for a turn 3 kill. I also do see an Alisaur's Rider.
If he already has Allosaurus Rider, what is Eladamri's call going to go get? Is there like one that kind of replicates the Neoform kind of stuff with at 3 or
Could
4
go
mana?
get a Tuckthon Worm, so you have something to. You have your best card to exile to Nourishing Shoal.
Okay.
Could get Disciple of Freyalise if he needs another land drop.
Oh, interesting. I never considered those for the Neobrand deck, but that's cool. I really like that card. I expected it to see a lot more play.
Okay.
Here's a Johnny from Deshaun Johnson. This one's going to come along with a 2/1 Kitty Cat. Gain some life, gain some energy.
And now has enough energy to pay for a Guide of Souls trigger, so this attack can be for 7. And then if Deshaun gets another treasure and has Goblin Bombardment, this might be lethal.
He does get another treasure. Is it lethal? So it's definitely lethal with Goblin Bombardment. Is it still lethal with like a removal spell on his own cat?
No, because so Nemitz is going to fall to 11 from the attack, and if it was just removal spell on a cat token, then the Ajani would only deal 5.
All right, we got a reader.
This is Eldritch Evolution, the Exile from the Ragavan, and with 2 treasures, Deshaun can cast this.
Yeah, if he has an untapped land from hand.
Could sacrifice a cat and transform the Ajani that way, and find another 2-drop.
Maybe you could like find another Ajani, and then maybe do Ajani flip. Probably costs too much mana, but oh, looks like that's what we're gonna try. Let's see what he can do here. Eldritch Evolution, cast off of Grayson Nimitz deck. We're gonna sack the cat token as an additional cost. That's gonna transform Ajani.
Yes, so the Ajani will transform with the Eldritch Evolution on the stack, since the sacrifice of the cat was part of the cost of the evolution.
And now we go get a 2-drop.
Yes. So 2 or less. So Deshaun can get any 1 or 2 mana creature from his library.
Probably just another Ocelot Pride. Yes. Yes. Now it's up to Grayson. Grayson's got to kill next turn, but this is what Boros does basically every game if you leave it unchecked. It just plays a slew of creatures, and will just kill you on turn 4 or 5 pretty regularly. Here, you know, Grayson's playing this kind of all-in combo deck, this Neobrand deck, so it looks like he's extremely far behind. But if he has the right draw or sequence of draws over the next turn, maybe he wins the game.
Yeah. Deshaun certainly has lethal on the following turn, so it's just a question of whether Grayson can kill on his turn 3. Because these Ocelot Prides have the City's Blessing once the Ajani makes a token. So that's a permanent 10.
6 damage down to 5, and now more energy, and then a bunch more tokens.
Yeah, so this first Ocelot Pride will make a 1/1. It'll then copy that 1/1 and copy the 2/1 from the Ajani Planeswalker. So that will make 3 more tokens. Then the second Ocelot Pride will make a 1/1, and it will copy all 4 of the tokens that had just entered from it and the previous Ocelot Pride. So there should be 8 tokens made by the end of this, and it should be 3 2/1s and 5 1/1s.
Okay. If he doesn't put that many into play, are we going to stop him? That's what I need to know. This is a lot for a 1-drop. Ocelot Pride, so many pieces of material being created, copies, doubles, life gain. Grayson's like, if I draw the right card, you're dead. All right, it's not the right card. I lose. Yeah. Yay.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so game 1 goes to Deshaun. Boros doing Boros things. ABC Magic.
Yeah, a very, very fast draw. Turn 1 Ragavan, really the key there, because those treasures that Deshaun made sped up his draw considerably, and that is really what he needed in game 1. He doesn't have... The only way he really has to disrupt the combo is Ragavan exiling key pieces from Grayson's library.
All right, well, these players are going to be moving to the sideboard. Grayson did not cast a spell that game. Does he have any spells in the sideboard that might help him out here?
So, looking at his sideboard, I see 4 Boseiju Who Endures, 1 Eladamri's Call, 1 Force of Vigor, 1 Gristlebrand, 1 Guttural Response, 1 Nature's Claim, 1 Neoforum that's in the sideboard to find with Glittering Wish, 2 Pact of Negation. I said Nature's Claim, it's Nature's Chant, because that's multicolored. 2 Pact of Negation, and a 3 Veil of Summer.
Really cool build here from Grayson. I haven't seen the Glittering Wish build of Neobrand before, but it gives you more virtual Neoforms, which is great.
Definitely there for consistency's sake. Frankly, this might be a same 60 situation.
Happens often with tutor effects combo decks, so I wouldn't be surprised. doesn't have like sweepers. All right, Pyroclasm is like the type of card you're looking for here. That's just not
Yeah,
there.
I mean, this is a Simic or a Bant deck, really,
Right.
so not going to be much in the way of sweepers since white is a splash.
Yeah, and Veil of Summer is like a big part of his sideboard too, and that's just like not valuable here.
Maybe Grayson wants more copies of something like Pact of Negation to handle Orem's Chant on the turn that he's trying to go off, but that's the only consideration, I think.
Okay. Other side of the table, Deshaun's Boros deck definitely has some anti-combo stuff here. Give me the quick rundown. How do you think he's going to be sideboarding here?
So Deshaun's sideboard is 2 Celestial Purge, 2 Drannith Magistrate, 4 Molten Rain, 2 Orem's Chant, 3 Stony Silence. The Orem's Chants are definitely the best thing here. You might want Celestial Purge. It exiles Gristlebrand. And then you could consider Molten Rain as well. The removal spells in Deshaun's deck are not very good. The Galvanic Discharges, Flage. You probably want 1 or 2 Flages, but not of the full 4.
Static Prison pretty weak as well, yeah.
Static Prison can play in the games where Grayson just puts a Gristlebrand into play and says, I'm going to attack you with a giant flying demon. And that can be the path to victory, especially in games when you've been attacked a little bit early and you don't have as much life to play with on the combo turn.
Yeah.
And there's also one Galta Stampede Tyrant to enable that sort of fair game plan.
Okay. All right, players are shuffling up and drawing 7, so let's make sure that they are not about to start. We'll head on down to the match if they keep 7. Grayson's deck, very complicated. Mulligans quite a bit, but seems like we're going to be keeping both hands, and we're underway. Misty Rainforest to play. Likely going to go fetch out a Surveil land. No 1-drop from Deshaun. That's a big deal.
Yeah, especially on the draw. But maybe he does have an Orem's Chant and wants to play it a little safe. And we'll see if he deploys a 1-drop on turn 2 and keeps holding up a mana, then it becomes a pretty significant tell.
All right, so finds Meticulous Archive. We're going to go with Surveil. What are the white cards in Grayson's deck? Is it just the Glittering Wish, or is there some other stuff going on?
Glittering Wish, Eladamri's Call, and a couple copies of Angel's Grace.
I do like the look of this build. Glittering Wish and Eldamri's Call solve a lot of the issues that I had with Neoform in the past. Mainly that it's just like actually hard to find your combo when you have to play a bunch of 10-drop green cards in your deck.
Yeah, it's not quite as explosive of a build, but Glittering Wish and Call set you up for a lot of turn 3 kills. You know, you cast one of those, find the missing piece, then you kill on turn 3.
Ooh, Grayson played a land I haven't seen in a long time. Let's get Gemstone Mine on the screen. Gemstone Mine is an old land, I believe it's from Weatherlight. Was reprinted in Time Spiral, Time Shifted, and enters play with 3 mining counters on it, and you can remove a mining counter to make a mana of any color, so it's basically a 5-color land, but you can only use it 3 times. It was actually quite popular in early versions of Amulet, I think, because you could bounce it back to your hand, but maybe I'm misremembering. I just remember it coming back to hand a bunch. It was good in Dredge, too, because you could life from the limit back.
Indeed.
All right, well, Elegant Parlor for Deshaun. You'll see a lot more of this in Modern. The old fetch, surveil, tank. Every single turn is a major decision.
And he puts Outlaw Pride into the graveyard. Interesting. Must have other plans for all of his mana for the next couple turns.
Drannith Magistrate. Does this one shut anything down in the Neobrand deck? Let's say you can only play spells from your hand. It doesn't stop Neoform, does it? So you can't cast. So maybe Deshaun thinking that Drannith Magistrate is going to shut some stuff down, but I don't see much that it actually helps with because we are actually casting everything.
Yeah, from the hand.
Now here's Allosaurus Rider. We're going to pitch a couple of green cards to play this one for free. Allosaurus Rider is probably the second most important, or second or third most important card in the deck, but you basically need this one to really combo. Allosaurus Rider is a 7-drop creature. You pitch 2 green cards to put into play, and then we're going to play for free and then Eldritch Evolution it away and go get the Gristlebrand. And I think we might just have a turn 3 kill here.
Yeah, it'll take a little time, but generally Gristlebrand leads to a kill, especially when you're starting at 19 life. So Grayson has 2 draws of the Gristlebrand, 14 cards, to find Nourishing Shoal to keep going.
Yeah, unlike Goryo's Vengeance, there's not an imperative to win immediately, like on this exact turn. And so when you put the Gristlebrand into play, you can kind of wait on it if you're a little lower on life. It's kind of hard to beat a 7/7 flying lifelink, you know. But I imagine Grayson will draw at least 7, probably 14, and if he finds Nourishing Shoal, we can keep going. All right,
Draw
pay 7.
7.
2, 3.
That's a Talkthon Worm as the first card drawn. It's Chancellor of the Tangle. I saw the 1 Thassa's Oracle. Not sure if there was a Nourishing Shoal, though. So Grayson going to go back to the well, drawn 7 more. Summoner's Pact, Windswept Heath. Is there a Nourishing Shoal? He's pulled an Allosaurus Rider to the front of his hand. This might just be a cast another big creature.
It's only a 3/3 right now. Land or power toughness equal to the number of lands. I think it has +1 toughness, so maybe it's a 3/4. But
Power and toughness is +1. 4/4.
oh, it's base 1/1. All right. Grayson keeping 7 good ones. Didn't find the Nourishing Shoal, so it looks like we're going to be done for now. And if Deshaun just untaps, can clear these blockers, maybe play a Haste Creature or Lightning Bolt, it's going to be hard to deal 5 with just 3 mana next turn, but it's so close.
Definitely very close. This is the kind of game where a Static Prison could play very well, though.
Yeah. Now that I'm actually watching the gameplay from the Neobrand deck, I agree with your statement wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I'm looking at Grayson's build, and he doesn't have any way to make mana for free. There were builds of this deck that played like Mox Amber and things like that to try to generate a little bit of additional mana, and that could facilitate an immediate kill. So I think Grayson's generally planning to pass the turn after putting Gristlebrand into play.
Okay, well, here's a Static Prison from Deshaun, and that's going to meet Force of Negation? Or no, Pact of Negation from Grayson, so we're going to have that clause to pay 5 on the upkeep. I know he has a couple copies of Angel's Grace in his deck, and I guess that's what we're going to be playing here.
You can see one right in the middle of his hand.
All right, so Pact of Negation trigger goes on the stack. We're going to cast Angel's Grace. This is going to give us protection from dying until end of turn, including from those Pact triggers. And we're going to move on. Draws for turn. Now we can attack for 7, then draw 7.
So now, importantly, just because Grayson is under the protection of the Angel's Grace does not mean that he can draw his entire deck with Gristlebrand. You still need the actual life to pay the cost of Gristlebrand's ability. So he's going to attack the Gristlebrand, gain 7 from lifelink, go up to 12. That will allow him to draw 7 more cards, but not any more.
All right, so Allosaurus Rider's chunking in here with the Gristlebrand, and Deshaun was considering chump blocking, but just going to take it. He's going to put him down to 9, I believe, or 8. And second main, we're going to play another Neoform, second Allosaurus Rider. Is there another 8-drop? What's the other 8-drop?
Galta, Stampede Tyrant.
What does that do?
It's a 12/12 Trampler.
That's pretty big.
When it enters the battlefield, put any number of creature cards from your hand
13, though.
onto the battlefield. Yes.
This is a Neoform. Whoa. So it's just plop your hand down. Very cool. So we can play Autocton Worms. Oh, yes! Yes! Yes!
So the Tangle, Autochthon Worm, and World Spine Worm entering the battlefield there.
Magic rules. I'm sorry, Grayson. That was great. Thank you so much.
That was a lot of power. There's the 13/13 Galta, the 7/7 Gristlebrand, that's 20. World Spine Worm's another 15, that's 35. Autochthon Worm is a 9/14, that's 44. And Chancellor of the Tangle is a 6/7, so 50 power on the battlefield there for Grayson Nemitz.
Yeah, with the ability to draw 7 more cards and chose not to. Probably could have drawn the whole deck and put the whole deck into play.
Yeah, why risk breaking on Nourishing Shoal when you can just put 50 power into play? He had another Angel's Grace in hand, too.
Staying at 12. Smart, smart. All right. As these players are shuffling up here for game number 3, do you think Deshaun's sideboard plan is going to change any? He saw the Magistrate be kind of, medium minus.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if the Magistrates are out of the deck for Game 3, but there may be some aspect of previous Neobrand lists that Grayson is omitting, that Deshaun is playing around with that card. I'm not sure, I don't know the complete history of this deck. I know Grayson's list is a little different because it doesn't have that ability to immediately win with when you put Gristlebrand onto the battlefield. I think this is a more this has been the recent approach of Neobrand players, but it has not always been the approach for this style of deck.
All right, as these players are shuffling up for game number 3, I want to take this time to say thank you to the sponsors for Apex Con and the Apex Invitational Series. We are sponsored by SpiceRack GG. SpiceRack GG is a place where you can find tournaments close to you, as well as run tournaments if you're a tournament organizer. Make sure to check out spicerack.gg today. We are sponsored by Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is the industry leader when it comes to TCG supplies, from the katana sleeves to the archive deck box. Make sure to check your local game store for Ultimate Guard products today. All right, these players here are just about ready for game number 3, drawing their opening hand, so let's head on down.
The card I'd really like to see from Deshaun here on the play is Molten Rain. This is a 15-land deck from Grayson Emmets, and only one of them is basic. There's one forest, a couple surveil lands, a shock land, 3 gemstone mines, and fetches. So turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Molten Rain would be a very strong opening curve on the play.
Okay, well, we are underway, and Grayson has pregame effects. We're going to reveal Chancellor of the Tangle. Let's get that one on the screen, because this is a rather unique one, I believe from Scars of Mirrodin block. I forget which set exactly, but the beginning of your turn, game, you reveal it, and then you get a green mana on your first main phase. So it's kind of like a free mana if you just do it on the first turn.
So 1 green in pool now for Grayson after Deshaun's turn 1 was Guide of Souls.
Often the turn 1 Chancellor leads to turn 1 Neoform.
Only 3 Neoforms in the deck for Grayson, since the 4th is in the sideboard as a Glittering Wish target. But this could easily be turn 1 Eladamri's Call or Glittering Wish to set up a turn 2 kill.
Yeah, that's honestly, seeing Chancellor in this build makes a lot of sense because you have more things to do on turn 1 with that extra green mana. So really cool build from Grayson, and hopefully this Chancellor of the Tangle looks sick this game.
Gets the Hallowed Fountain off Misty Rainforest, so this does appear like he has one of those Selesnya cards to cast with 2 mana.
Okay, and there it is, Eldamri's Call. And this is a good setup to get like Allosaurus Rider if you're missing it. You're never using this to go get Gristlebrand. You like to keep that one in the deck so you can tutor it up.
Yeah, I suspect this will be an Allosaurus Rider for Grayson Nemetz, and now the test is on for Deshaun.
Disciple of Fraley's,
okay.
So getting another mana source. Going to play that as a land next turn, more than likely.
Yeah, a ways away from using the front side of that card.
Yeah. I've been contemplating a green-white blink deck with Flicker Wisp in this card. Play it as a land, flicker it up, put it into play, draw some cards.
Sack the Flicker Wisp.
Yeah, if you want to. Sack Ketramos, draw 5. Alright, back to Sean's way. Swang for 1. See what the follow-up is. Ocelots. Gonna gain a life and energy.
And then make Cat, gain a life with an energy.
Okay. You know, I saw Deshaun's hand a little bit. I think he has an Orange Chant. I think he might have 2 Orange Chants in hand. I saw like an old border white card, and I saw 2 of them.
Now, Orm's Chant is a tricky card for this deck because you can respond to the Allosaurus Rider, but then they still have a big creature in play to block. You can respond to the Neoform, but then they still have the giant Gristlebrand. And if you cast it proactively on their upkeep, let's say, then you don't really get any sort of tempo. So we'll see how Deshaun decides to deploy it, because there's no obvious way to use it like against Breach when you just respond to Underworld Breach. And you effectively trade your Orm's Chant for Underworld Breach. There's no way to trade the Breach for a card in this match, or trade the Chant for a card in this matchup.
All right. Surreal Land leaves on top. Deshaun draws. We're going to go to turn number 3. Grayson does play Misty Rainforest for his land for the turn instead of the Disciple of Freyalise as the land side. What's the land side called?
It is Garden of Freyalise.
Nice. All right. Fetches Mountain rather quickly. Any Blood Moons over there on Deshaun's side? Anything like that?
4 Molten Rain in the sideboard.
Okay. Maybe we're about to pop off.
Would love a Molten Rain on the Salad Mountain. Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, this is fine too. It's especially fine because I know Deshaun has my Pyromancer tokens, because I gave him a stack of them this morning.
Oh, you shouldn't have said anything. It would have been cool to just see him pop up, and then I would have been like, oh, there he is. There's my boy. Yes. That's the Ross Miriam Pyromancer token. Love it. They don't have that one on Moxfield. We can't bring that one up. But I see it. If you zoom in real close, you can see Ross's fire beard.
You can't win, Grayson. The game is over. Just give up.
Yes, give up.
Too powerful. That chiseled rock body.
A couple of +1/+1 counters going to go on the Guide of Souls. Grayson going to fall to 11, but this Neoform deck about to do Neoform things.
Yeah, looks like Deshaun one short of the City's Blessing because he discarded a land as one of the cards to Seasoned Pyromancer. So just gonna make the 1 cat on the end step. Still has 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually only has 9 power next turn. But if you can play any creature pre-combat and trigger the Guide of Souls again, he'll get to 3 energy, and that will create a lethal attack.
Quite a few things that can lead to energy lethal next turn, but we'll see if Grayson can put a brick wall here. I think he's got Angel's Grace in hand, so we might use that as like a fog at some point soon.
Angel's Grace would be good if all Deshaun has is more creatures. If he has Goblin Bombardment, then Bombardment can just finish off Grayson on his own turn.
Yep. All right, Forest on top. Grayson keeps it rather quickly, so here we go. Forest.
May need the Disciple as a green card for Allosaurus Rider.
Yeah, maybe got it early because it could be both.
Yeah, and with the Chancellor, you're just incentivized to fire off the spell because you don't get to keep that mana around for later use.
Okay, well, start your engines. Here's Summoner's Pact. Gonna go digging for a creature, green creature. Is gonna go get Allosaurus Rider. And we're gonna cast that one by pitching 2 green creatures, and then we're gonna play Eldritch Evolution or Neoform to go get a Gristlebrand. I guess technically we could go get the Galta and play a handful of Adakataton worms.
This doesn't necessarily mean Grayson is winning the game this turn, because he could use the Angel's Grace to effectively stop the Pact trigger, but that will stop him from using Angel's Grace on Deshaun's turn. Okay, has the Eldritch Evolution, so...
Okay, is there any chance he just gets Gristlebrand and says go? Because he wants to stay at 10 and block?
Yeah, I think that would be perfectly reasonable.
Okay.
And now, this is really a spot where Deshaun wants Goblin Bombardment, because that will effectively negate the lifelink of the Gristlebrand. You can sack whatever creature the Gristlebrand blocks before damage. Grayson does have a Pact of Negation in hand, so I think his plan is Pact anything relevant that Deshaun plays, untap Angel's Grace to stop all the Pact triggers, and then use the Gristlebrand to combo after he gets an attack in. But Deshaun, if he has an Orm's Chant, can at least stop the attack and get another fresh untap.
Alright, looks like we are going to draw 7, so maybe he already has Shoal in hand, maybe he already has a big thing in hand. Looks like we found something.
I saw a Shoal. It looks like there's an Autochthon Worm.
All
So
right.
that's 15 life.
So back up to 18. So now we can draw 14 more if we like. And this is the nightmare, right? For Boros Energy, you didn't play any disruption. You just played creatures. And Deshaun's got to be having flashbacks from yesterday. He played Convoke against Ancestors Awakening, and the Abuelo got him. This time, it's the Grand Abuelo, Gristlebrand.
Well, Grayson thumbing through their hand tells me he's probably found something. Goes for a Summoner's Pact. Is this getting another Autochthon Worm?
All right, Sunday probably has another Nourishing Shoal in hand, so we're probably going to be doing that again. What's the plan here as far as defense is concerned? We're not winning this turn, right? So we're just going to draw a bunch of cards, play like 2 or 3 Allosaurus Riders. Is that what we're going to do?
I would assume so.
All right, we're going to go to 4 life and draw 7. See World Spine Worm, another Nourishing Shoal. We're probably going to be able to draw the whole deck. And then on upkeep, we'll be able to play Angel's Grace. So while we're playing all these Summoner's Packs and things, there's no chance of us dying from the packs. And it's unlikely we're going to die to attacks either, thanks to Gristlebrand's lifelink and all these Nourishing Shoals.
Grayson doing a deck count to make sure he doesn't accidentally deck himself. A lot of the times you have to be very meticulous with your sequencing of Summoner's Packs and other things so that you intentionally put yourself to a multiple of 7 cards in library, and that way Gristlebrand doesn't deck you, nor does it leave a couple of cards left over, and there might be 1 card in that little stack that is critical to you winning the game.
So Grayson also has 1 copy of Endurance in his deck, and a trick you can do with Endurance is you can pitch cast it and have the evoke trigger go on before the shuffle back in, so it can shuffle itself back in with your graveyard. And then you can just keep doing Nourishing Shoal as long as you have big cards to pitch. Once you run out of the big cards, you essentially just get to draw your deck. It's kind of wild.
And Grayson is out of Autochthon Worms. There's only 2 in the deck. A little surprised there's not 1 in the sideboard as a Glittering Wish target, but I suppose you're not Glittering Wishing after you've put Gristlebrand out of the battlefield and drawn a million cards. Okay, here's some Allosaurus Riders. Exiling Eladamri's Call and Neoform.
That'll be the 4th Allosaurus Rider. And I believe we're going to be passing the turn after this if we're not going to be using Endurance to shuffle everything back in and keep it on going. All right. All 3 paid for it.
Is that a Chancellor of the Tangle exiled to one of them?
I believe so. Why?
I mean, there's not that many big green cards for Nourishing Shoal left. I'm surprised he would exile one.
Maybe he just has it rolled. I mean, he's got 25 cards in hand. I don't know.
He's put all of the Allosaurus Riders in play, so those aren't pitchable. All the Autochthon Worms are gone. He has 1 World Spine Worm he could pitch, 1 Galta Stampede Tyrant, and from there, the next best is Chancellor of the Tangle.
All right, we're going to be discarding down to 7. Rather, keeping the perfect 7. Discarding 18 or whatever.
Yeah, I would expect at least 1 Angel's Grace, maybe the second one if he's found it. At least 1 Summoner's Pact, likely more if he's found them. And then whatever cards he thinks he needs to finish the game next turn. And there is 1 copy of Thassa's Oracle in the deck. Grayson does have multiple blue mana available. He's going to have to use the Hallowed Fountain to play Angel's Grace next upkeep. So I would guess he's also kept a blue source, likely a Gemstone Mine. It's the only other untapped blue mana in the deck. His fetchables are Hallowed Fountain, Hedge Maze, Meticulous Archive, and Forest.
Alright, so the worm shuffles back in.
And that is likely intentional to get to the right deck size.
Okay, well, Sean needs a miracle. Let's see what happens. We got 2 force negations. I don't know. It's going to be impossible to break out of that.
Deshaun's hand needs to be really good. Ocelot Pride is likely not something Grayson cares about.
No, it's just like Bombardment, Static Prison, some other weird sideboard card maybe that removes the Gristlebrand. Celestial Purge. This feels like the guy who's still tending this farm when there's like an asteroid about to hit the Earth. Just all toil.
Sean trying to find some way to weasel out of this, but
Well, he did get up to 3 energy, so he's probably trying to figure out if he can leap something with Guide of Souls and have it be relevant. But with the Gristlebrand blocking, it's just so difficult. It looks like we just have nothing. We're going to pass and make a bunch of tokens, but that's fine too. Alright, so we're going to gain 1,000,000.
yeah, 6 tokens made on the end step from 2 City's Blessing triggers of Ocelot Pride. That means 6 life and 6 energy. And you can see Grayson's hand there had 2 Pact of Negations and Angel's Grace.
Is there any way that Grayson gets swarmed here? Can he? I mean, I guess with endurance and such a small library, he can probably just do some really dirty stuff this turn, including putting Galta into play and maybe a bunch of other stuff. But we've already seen him discard and exile a bunch of his bigger creatures.
There's the Gemstone Mine.
Attack for 7. Sean can technically block. I don't imagine he should.
Yeah, I don't think Deshaun's life total matters here. Grayson's not winning this game by attacking for 3 more turns. He's winning it by emptying his library and casting Thassa's Oracle.
So 9 cards left in deck. Quick count.
So unless the Thassa's Oracle is in the bottom 2, he drew the World Spine Worm.
And 2 more Nourishing Shoals, so...
Yeah, but with only 2 cards, you can't activate Gristlebrand anymore. So there's not any sort of cantrip in the deck.
There's Nourishing Shoal, pitching the World Spine. And gain 15? Or no,
It's
how much is that
11.
one? 11?
But I think you just play the Thassa's Oracle and you have 2 Pact of Negations for 2 removal spells in Deshaun's hand.
Yeah, there it is. Deshaun Johnson defeated, and Grayson Emmons with a repeat from yesterday, defeating Deshaun Johnson in the first round with a combo deck against the white-based creature deck.
Deshaun reveals 2 Arena of Glory in his hand at the end there, and discarded a land to the Seasoned Pyromancer as well, so just a little bit flooded. Had a pretty fast draw, but not able to beat a turn 3 combo effectively from Grayson Nemitz.
All right, so pretty great round 1.